Hey guys, this is just a quick video. Today there was a hotfix, so the Friday update was hotfixing Space DLC and the Gases update. So I always like to do this kind of video, should you buy Stormworks or the Space DLC or whatever DLC they release, right after they release it. And the usual answer is yes and no, but this time it's a little bit different. Usually the no is because of multiplayer. I think multiplayer is a bit better than it used to be. You would get a yes from me for buying the game if you want to play with your friends to a certain extent. But this time, the no, instead of multiplayer, the no is because the devs keep making the same mistake. And do you want to keep supporting this behavior? There's like three camps when it comes to Stormworks. There's the angry, frustrated folks that every update is going to make them mad, which is understandable to some extent. There is the wait and see crew, like, oh, don't worry, you know, they're gonna fix it, and I'll just wait and see to what happens, or they just don't care, like, as long as they can play, they're happy, and other than that, you know, everything's great, which is fine too. And then there's the overly positive, protective crew, which is like, these are the best devs ever, blah, 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 they're gonna fix it. Don't get upset at the devs. It's hard to be a game developer. What else is there? I don't know. You know, you couldn't do better, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I hate that camp because that camp ignores the fact that these are game developers and there is a process for software development. You don't release stuff without testing. You don't test only the parts that you are creating. And these devs, over and over again, release content, release updates that, hey, we made this new part, it works when we tested it, but we didn't go and test everything to make sure that everything is properly working because, oh, we only changed this part, we only updated, you know, space, but we didn't test the rest of things. So they release this crap and then they get backlash, and it happens over and over again with Geometa. Like, what are you doing? Why are you releasing updates without testing when you have a very passionate community that would be overwhelmed to be picked to be on your testing team? Give them an NDA if you're so worried about them leaking your Space DLC update. I mean, this is the only game out there. I'm not too sure why you're trying to hide everything. But my point is, there are a lot of builders, a lot of passionate builders that build certain things. They build only airplanes. They build only ships. They build only submarines. They build only VTOLs or helicopters or weapon systems. Grab one of those builders, or if a builder does all of those things, grab that builder and put them on your testing team. You know who they are because you grab their screenshots all the time and throw them on your Friday updates. So grab those people, bring them into your little ring of fire, and have them test the game before your release. Not a big deal, not a hard thing to do for a game dev company or a software development company, because I worked for one. And all you do is you get your testers and you have a checklist. We need to test these things. We need to test buoyancy. We need to test helicopter physics. We need to make sure that what we say is working before we release it. Not that hard as a development company to have processes in place to make things work. Next up, something that really bothered me with this release is they dropped it and ran away, went home, went to Starbucks. I don't know where they went, but they dropped this and they didn't even do a launch release for one of the biggest game-changing updates they've done so far. They just dropped it. I don't understand. You made a bunch of changes that are going to impact the way people play the game. You made a bunch of changes that change the way planes work, the way engines work, the way submarines work, and you didn't take the time, and I'm talking to Geometa, not you guys, they didn't take the time to come on a live stream and share what they did, kind of explain and go through with the community of what changes they made, why they made the changes, why they think those changes are going to be beneficial, and what to expect for older builds. Why would you come on with a community that cares so much about your game and tell them, hey, look, this is what we're doing. This is why we're doing it. These are the things you're going to expect that are going to have problems. And just talk to people. I don't understand. Why is it so hard to talk to people? And when I say people, I mean a community that really, really loves this game and cares about it. That's why they get so irritated, because they love the game. They love building in the game. They love playing with their friends in the game. And instead of communicating and interacting with this community, GeoMeta hides. They hide behind Discord. They don't talk. I don't understand this dev. Any other dev at this level would be embracing the community, calling out people that make a difference to this game. I'm going to be a broken record. I'm sure I've said these kind of things before, but JSI fishing mod. Char Lizard and that group have made a fishing mod that does amazing things. It draws borders and creates different fishing zones. It has different types of fish and different types of nets and different types of bait. And that is an add-on. Any other dev at this level, at this independent game creation level, would embrace those guys and say, look what they did with our game. They created a whole fishing mod. This is amazing. You guys should go check it out. And you know what else? We're going to talk to these guys and see what we can do when we work on creating an official fishing DLC or update, so that we have all the features that these folks, are going to enjoy because they're passionate about fishing. That doesn't happen. They don't reach out to anybody. They don't bring somebody in to talk about fishing. So if they're working on a fishing update in the next year or whatever, it's not going to be the features that the fishermen are into, and I'm not saying JSI is the only fishing crew, but it's a large group of people that do enjoy fishing. And, they're not going to talk to them. Modding is another thing, but modding's okay. Let's put modding on a separate bucket because it is a game-changing feature. But again, they don't really acknowledge that mods exist, and they don't support them. They could at the end of life, but I don't think they will. So let's just, put modding in that bucket and leave it there and see what happens. So now that we left modding behind, let's go to the next group of people that are pretty passionate, and those are the racers, okay? There's several servers that focus on racing, Formula 1 racing, rally racing. I think they do climbing competitions, a couple of them. And that's another group. Again, a dev at this level would embrace those groups. They would want people to know that there are a team of racers, a group of people that enjoy playing Stormworks for racing. And just a step further, we have already seen modded racetracks come out for Stormworks. Okay, so we know it's possible to add a racetrack without making it a major update. And in fact, we do have modded racetracks that you can download, and we have a free way. And the devs could easily add that as an update. And boy, would that make a difference to the quality of life for people that are into the racetracks not having to mod in racetracks. Because you don't support mods anyways, so maybe you should add an actual racetrack to Sawyer Isles. Well, we got space. Do you see what I'm saying? Do you see why, when I say, should you buy Stormworks, do you want to support this kind of dev? That's the no. Is Stormworks a good game, and you're going to have fun maybe with your friends, and you're going to have fun building, and you're going to get a good bit amount of entertainment with the cost of the game? Then, of course, you should buy the game. So I always have that kind of double standard for whether you should buy Stormworks and the latest DLC. Is it a good game? Yeah. Is it a different kind of game than anything out there? Yes, buy the game. Play with your friends, single player, build to your heart's content, you'll get your money's worth. Should you buy the game to support this kind of behavior that just repeats itself over and over again? Should you reward the devs for cutting out a whole chunk and groups of people because they don't want to interact, because they, quote, in some article Deltar's in, they give the tools to the community to interact with each other? Give me a break. It's a game development company, and they have customers that they need to support, and they've got a community that cares about this game. And instead of doing that, they rush things out, they don't interact, they don't test, And they leave us hanging every single major update, every single DLC. And it doesn't have to be that way. I think there's other groups that I need to talk about. I guess it would be the engineers of Stormworks. You know, trains have been, you know, long forgotten. Weapons DLC has never been touched again. And that's another problem with this whole thing, is that they don't go back and refine. And that's another problem that we've talked about. No company, whether it's a game company or a software company, doesn't go back and refine what they release. But GeoMeta absolutely avoids it. And when they do refine things, they get it wrong, like the tank track that was the wrong size. They never went back and refined that. No. I guess it feels like GeoMeta is just kind of like that cat that sees something shiny and it runs over and plays with it, and then when it's done with it, it releases it and goes and finds something else that's shiny. It's kind of sad because the one word that keeps coming up when it comes to Stormworks is potential. Potential is always the word that comes up with this game, and it just never lives up to it. It just keeps pushing more features and not refining the feature set that it has. And I mean, I think the gases thing is very cool, and I think that it could have been released a bit more polished. I think, again, that the key here is you gotta talk to the community and let them know what you're doing with it, why you're doing it, how it works, all the details that don't get included when you drop a Friday update that says, look at the new features, here's what we added. No, get on YouTube and get one of your folks that knows all about these things and what you did internally, not just what you're dropping as a feature on a feature list, but what you actually did internally with the game engine, and let us know, let the community know how it works. Why did you do something? What can be done to avoid issues with what you changed? That's what people want to hear. I mean, they just want communication with the devs of a game they love. All right, so I'm starting to go in circles, of course, because that's what I always do when it comes to my lovely rants. And some of you hate me, some of you love me, some of you don't care. For the ones that have been here with me for the past 5 years, thank you so much. Thank you for your support. Thanks for watching the videos, clicking the likes. Thanks for the comments, because we did hit 10,000 subs, and it means a lot. So it took us a while to get here, but we're finally here. Unless you all unsubscribe at the same time after this video, then we may not be here very long. But for now, we are, and so thank you. So repeating the answer to the question that this video poses, should you buy Stormworks? Yes, it's a great game. It's on sale right now, so is the DLC for the other things. If you want to pick it up as a group, it's like $21 for Stormworks and the DLC, and you're getting a good amount of gameplay. Are there things that are going to be broken or weird? Yes, there are. Are you going to be able to play multiplayer with your friends? Yes, you can. Is it going to be perfect? No, it isn't. The answer for no is, do you want to support these devs and their behavior? Do you want to give them more money if you already have Stormworks for Space DLC? That's up to you if you are interested in Space DLC. And again, if you want to support this behavior. So I bought this. I bought the Space DLC. They didn't send me a key. Yes, I did support the devs, unfortunately, with this release. I could refund it, but let's face it. I make videos, and I can't not own Space DLC. So I do have it. But for you, the answer is no if you don't want to support this behavior. The answer is no if you don't care about space. Yeah, I think that's what it boils down to. But overall, if you're new to Stormworks, the answer is yes. It's a game that you're going to get a lot of entertainment value out of for $21 for everything. But once you're in the community, then you can go ahead and drop into a group. The I don't care group, it's okay, it's a game. The positive group, looking forward to whatever happens. The negative group that hates everything that happens. And I guess there's sort of a fourth group. Is it the apologist group that just, no matter what the devs do, it's not their fault. So, yeah. All right, well, that's it for this video. It is a rant. It's kind of boring for a lot of people, but, sometimes you just gotta talk about it, not hide, not run away, and just don't interact with community, because that's dumb. Anyways, they did do a hotfix. Submarines float, boats float. You do have to probably tweak things. For instance, I had to remove a lot of weight blocks because I used to need weight blocks to keep it from, you know, flipping over or popping up too high. But so, yeah, your vehicles are going to need some tweaks. But again, you know, would have been nice to hear what kind of things we're facing, but I don't think they even knew because they didn't test it. Sorry, I'm repeating. Yeah, test your shit. Is it that hard? No. See you next time. Test your